In today's series, I'll specifically be emphasizing on the different stages of photosynthesis. And after this tutorial, I'll go ahead to set up a community post and quizzes, which you can go directly there and participate to some of the quizzes which we have set up to improve your knowledge on this particular aspect or topic. So if you have not yet subscribed, you want to make sure to do so that you are going to receive new post notifications and updates whenever we release new episode and quizzes for you. You want to make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell icon to be the very first to receive new post notification and updates whenever they are made available. So without wasting time, I'm going to begin with the key aspects of today's episode. First, I want to look at the various stages of photosynthesis. We have two main stages when it concerns photosynthesis. The first is the light-dependent stage of the reaction, which means it depends on light. And the next stage of the reaction is the light-independent reaction. First, I want to look at some key components in the light stage of the reaction. Beginning with the light stage of the reaction, there are four major key components I want to highlight to you so that you are going to see exactly what this stage is all about. Looking at the light stage of the reaction, at this level, light energy is being required in order to drive the conversion of ADP to adenosine triphosphate. But first, you need to know that the light stage of the reaction takes place or occur in the thylakoid membrane of chloroplast. We all are aware that, of course, photosynthesis, which is the process by which green plants containing chlorophyll in chloroplast will absorb solar energy. This term definition will let us know that the light stage of the reaction occur at the level of the chloroplast, which, to be very precise, it takes place at the thylakoid membrane of the chloroplast. Looking at this, since we are now aware that it takes place at the thylakoid membrane of the chloroplast, of course, you need to now put it into note that at this level, light energy is being required in order to cause the transformation of ADP to ATP at this level. Also, you need to note that at this level, light energy which is being absorbed by the chlorophyll will cause excitation of electrons. And once these electrons are being excited, there will be an easy transfer through the electron transport chain. You remember the first release of episode 1 on this topic, we stated that photosynthesis is the process whereby green plants containing chlorophyll in chloroplast will absorb solar energy in order to manufacture their food by combining carbon dioxide and water and oxygen being given off as a byproduct. The term which we stated that the process by which green plant containing chlorophyll, we precise the aspect of chlorophyll in chloroplast, will absorb solar energy. Now at this stage, where we are looking at the different stages of reaction, looking at the light stage of the reaction and the dark stage of the reaction, we want to focus on this area, the light stage of the reaction. And looking back at our definition, which we stated, first of all, we need to know that the first thing we want to look at is to note that this process takes place in the thylakoid membrane of the chloroplast. Also, looking at the next step, you should note that at this level, there are excitation of electrons. Once as this light energy is being absorbed by chlorophyll, what happens is there is the excitation of electrons, which also causes their transfer through the electron transport chain. And also at this level, once as this light energy is being absorbed as well, you're going to notice that there is also the conversion of ATP, which is adenosine diphosphate, to ATP, which is adenosine triphosphate. These are some of the key components which you need to take note of. Also, you need to know that at this stage, which is the light stage of the reaction, photolysis also occurs, which means that the splitting of water molecule to release oxygen. Because again, I want to drive you back again to the definition of photosynthesis, which we stated before. And we state that it's the process whereby green plants containing chlorophyll in chloroplast will absorb solar energy by combining carbon dioxide and water. In other words, once this energy is being absorbed, which is light energy from the sun, there is also the combination of carbon dioxide and water. This water molecule has to be splitted. Once this light energy has been captured from sunlight, what happens is this light energy, which has been absorbed by chlorophyll in chloroplast, will cause excitation of electrons, and these electrons will be transferred through the electron transport chain. At the same time, once this light energy has been absorbed, photolysis also occur, which means that the splitting of the water molecules and oxygen will be given off as a byproduct. Looking crucially at this definition, if we look at the photosynthetic reaction, or if we are being asked to write the complete chemical reaction or a balanced equation for photosynthesis, looking at the equation based on the fact that this process involves light energy which has been absorbed, and of course must be the combination of carbon dioxide and water. And once this light energy is being absorbed, what will happen is this water molecule will be splitted, and this split of this water molecule is known as photolysis, where water molecule will be splitted and oxygen will be released. It is from here that oxygen will be produced. Now the combination of carbon dioxide and water will produce what is called carbohydrate, which is the food for this process. So if you look very carefully or crucially based on this definition we are giving you, based on the last episode we released, the definition will already give you everything on this aspect, looking at the light stage of the reaction. Of course, looking again at this definition, a process whereby green plants containing chlorophyll in chloroplast, we are telling you that this actually take place in the chlorophyll of chloroplast. A process whereby green plant containing chlorophyll in chloroplast will absorb solar energy. We are also telling you that for this process to occur, there must be the presence of light energy, which we are terming as solar. Solar means energy from the sun. And once this energy is being captured by chlorophyll, which is inside of the chloroplast, what will happen is a lot of things occur. First, there is the excitation of electrons. And this excitation of electrons will cause transfer to the electron transport chain. Also, there is the conversion of adenosine diphosphate, which is ADP to ATP. And also, there is also photolysis which occur, which is the splitting of the water molecule to produce oxygen. And this is the key definition under this term. So if you are being asked at what level of the chloroplast does the light stage of the reaction occur, you are going to say in the thylakoid membrane of the chloroplast. This is where the light stage of the reaction takes place. In the thylakoid membrane of the chloroplast is the stage where the light reaction is the area where the light reaction takes place. Also, you should note that at this level, there is also the reduction of NADP plus to NADPH plus, which is the reduction of nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide to nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate hydrogen. So these are the key components of the light stage of the reaction. I will now move to the dark stage of the reaction to see exactly what occurs at this level. First, looking at the dark stage of the reaction, you need to note that these occur in the stroma of the chloroplast. It is different from the light stage of the reaction, which occur in the thylakoid membrane of the chloroplast, which is the area where the light stage of the reaction actually occur. But when we look at the dark stage of the reaction, it instead takes place at the stroma of the chloroplast. And now, you remember we earlier stated that at the light stage of the reaction, there is the conversion of ADP to ATP, that is adenosine diphosphate to adenosine triphosphate. Now, at this level of the dark stage of the reaction, the ATP, which was produced at the light stage of the reaction, will now be used at the dark stage of the reaction to help in the conversion of carbon dioxide to glucose. You see, the ATP that was produced, that is the energy source. ATP means adenosine triphosphate, the energy source, which was produced at the light stage of the reaction, is now being used at the dark stage of the reaction to drive the conversion of carbon dioxide to glucose. So what will happen is, at this level, carbon dioxide will be combined or fixed to ribulose biphosphate by the enzyme called rubiscose. In other words, there is the fixation of carbon dioxide with ribulose biphosphate. And at this level, the ATP that was produced at the light stage of the reaction, and also the NADPH, which was also produced at the light stage of the reaction, will be used as source of energy to drive the conversion of carbon dioxide to carbohydrate. This is how it occurs at the dark stage of the reaction. And at this level, the ribulose biphosphate is being regenerated again, so that it's going to continue this cycle. Looking at everything in the recap, both the light stage of the reaction and the dark stage of the reaction, or the light independent stage of the reaction, we want to look again at some comparison which we have made. First, at the light stage of the reaction, what happens is it occurs in the thylakoid membrane of the chloroplast. But at the dark stage of the reaction, or the light independent stage of the reaction, it occurs at the stroma of the chloroplast. This is the difference. Why the light stage of the reaction takes place at the thylakoid membrane of the chloroplast, the dark stage takes place at the stroma. And at the light stage of the reaction, what happens is there is the production, or let's say the conversion of ADP, which is adenosine diphosphate, to ATP, which is adenosine triphosphate. But at the dark stage of the reaction, what happens is the ATP and the NADPH that was produced at the light stage of the reaction is being used at the dark stage of the reaction as energy source to drive the conversion of carbon dioxide, or the fixed carbon, to carbohydrates or glucose. And also at the light stage of the reaction, photolysis occurs, which is the splitting of water molecules to release oxygen. But at the dark stage of the reaction, what happens is there is the combination of fixation of carbon dioxide to ribulose phosphate by an enzyme called rubiscose, which required ATP to drive its conversion to form carbohydrate. Of course, after this tutorial, I'll set up quiz for you to participate. So you want to make sure that you check the community tab of this to answer some very crucial questions which we are going to set based on this tutorial. You want to make sure that you subscribe and enable the notification bell icon to keep updates on upcoming video tutorial on this topic. We are going to end here for today, and do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and also enable the notification bell icon so as to be the very first to receive new post notifications and updates when we release new episodes on this series. Bye-bye for now.